Hi everyone, and today I'm reviewing my own sales calls. This one is going to be the good call, the one that I've closed where I did handle a lot of objections. This is a good thing to do, to review your own deals where you close them so you can learn from them and you can remember those things that actually work. Yeah, I consider this as a real sales call, real closer call when you do need to overcome a bunch of the objections. This is not the lay down. This is not the easy prospect. We almost started arguing at the beginning of the call. You have like another video on this. So without further ado, let's see and highlight the things that I can improve. And let's see which things actually worked so you can use them for your own calls. Let's dive in.
A sound process. I've been sitting in many of these conversations and listening to, the system in theory is always great. What I like about you is that your systematic recording of the results, and this is very precise, the way you measure everything, and that's a very good thing. I never did that properly. Sometimes I have a consultant do it for me, but then I don't continue that system myself. So kudos for that.
Well, that's the only way of how you can actually make the decisions in the business. I mean, while you don't need to be sitting every day just planting yourself the numbers there, but we will give some tracking systems that's going to allow you just to make the better decisions. That is why I was like, my colleagues and I was trying to ask the questions, because based on the previous experiences, we can, tweak them and adjust it and make it better in the future. Because I don't see myself making the decisions in the business without the numbers in my face. I know, because I'm emotional, everybody else is emotional around, and I can't make the decisions without the numbers at all.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. It's interesting, and I'm open. I don't think it would be relevant to me before September, because I'm writing a book in July, some of August. I'm going to use that time for that and see how that.
And the first objection is incoming, that she is not ready to do that now and is going to tell me the things what she wants to do instead of this.
The system is going, and then I have a new, I have a sort of CEO coming on board in September, and it would be helpful for me if she was in on these things, if she was helping. So I don't think it would be relevant for that time. Maybe August, but not before September.
Yeah, well, we definitely can push that down the road as far as you want. This was the reason why I asked, is it important for you now? I mean, like, the question is, would you rather see yourself landing a couple of deals next month? So do you see yourself having closed some of the deals next month, $5,000, $2,000, enrolling some clients, or you don't want to have it?
Well, hopefully with what I'm doing now, that's going to be the case. So,
well, referral is going to come and go. You can.
Hopefully, doesn't sound convincing.
The fact that, but when based on what you told me before, you're not so convinced like that those interviews are going to bring those people in.
It's a system that I haven't. It's a little bit like starting your system. I won't be able to tell before a little bit down the road if it works. I mean,
yeah, but like, do you know what's going to be after the interviews?
Yeah.
How the people is going to? Yeah. So tell me, like, how the people is going to come to you?
No, I mean, let me just try that out. It's not that I haven't tried the system yet, so I cannot explain to you. But I am very happy to speak to my potential customers because I've learned a lot from it. So right now that works for me. And it's a lot easier to deliver to people that when you know what they actually are looking for. So I am happy about that system for now.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I mean, like, if you would be 100% sure that thing is going to bring you the customers, you wouldn't be on this call. Let's just be realistic. My question is,
I agree with you. I wouldn't be on this call. I'm curious to know what you could do for me, because also because I have a lot of different products. So so I'm open to testing different systems on different products. For now, it's not realistic that I spend that kind of time, but I'm happy I got to know what you can do, and I think that I will keep in mind for a little bit further down the road. Also because the thing that also makes me hesitate is that a lot of people, I've heard this before, the funnels, when you explain the funnels in theory.
Another objection incoming. So time, I'm like working with another system now, like others is telling the same but it doesn't work.
They always work. What doesn't always work in practice is the right people coming in, the number of people coming in, that.
I'm just calm and keeping my poker face on.
Is the difficult part, I think. The theory about how funnels work is...
Of course, if that would be easy, you could just go on YouTube and just do it yourself, and we wouldn't freaking exist at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about the fact of how good it does it. Like, so I'm not telling, like, so this system works in a case of actual, so since we're running it, we're eating the same bread that we're cooking on a daily basis. Okay. This is our client acquisition channel for the 80%. Okay. Other referrals, organic, all of that stuff. Okay. Our customers gets the biggest leverage from this. We have companies from Poland that do organic stuff, and they came to us to help them to build out the system. It's just a matter of process of doing that. The question is, do you believe that this is going to bring you the right people for the meetings with you, so you can close deals with them? At least a couple of deals next month, trying to generate extra $5,000-10,000 for your business.
Yeah, that would be good. But
I understand that would be good. My question is, do you believe that this system, and in cooperation with us, can you take you there?
It sounds probable.
Good. So why? Why it sounds probable?
So all of the bullshit that she said to me, why she wouldn't want to start aside, do you think that this can actually help you?
It sounds like you know what you're doing and that you have experience that this works. I believe you said on your website that it works in a quarter of your customers, or a quarter of your customers. Say
a quarter of customers like left the reviews. For another quarter, it worked, but they haven't left the review.
And then the last 50%?
What about
It
those?
depends, you know, it's like various. Maybe we don't take them to the place where they want to be. Maybe they stop themselves, you know, there's different situations that we can't control. And of course, there's like a bunch of people that we can't help, but most of our mistakes was made like a couple of years ago when we were trying to enroll every single customer with every single product, e-commerce and all of that things that we are not just the pros, and that's it. So once again, so I didn't understand. Okay, so you said you like the process and you believe that it can bring you the results because it succeeded for like others. Do you believe that you can succeed with us and get the customers next month?
I would like to believe it. I'm not sure I believe it because I've heard that so many times. So I'm a little bit affected by my past experiences. I apologize for that, but that's the truth of it. Is that you know, every consultant I talk about this potential, you know, the possibilities, and it's very rare that I've seen them deliver. So
yeah, I understand. Well, and that's the reasonable thing. And thanks for if there wouldn't be those past experiences, I mean, like, would then you be like excited to start today, or there's something else apart from that past experiences?
It's past experiences, and also that right now because I'm in that other system, I need to spend my 3-4 hours a day on that.
So I'm trying to isolate the objection, you know, try to understand what exactly we're working on here. But it sounds that the past experience is the biggest thing.
So in order to honor that. So, you know, so it's not a good idea to start 2 different things at the same time. I think it's then there's a bigger probability that none
Bullshit. Everybody's doing multiple things in the same time.
will work. So I do believe it's better for me to take one at a time. Once one is on working, then I can undertake another one. But
How many, like, once again, like, how many clients that system is going to bring you?
I just started it. So let's just, you know, let's not trash it before we have seen how it works.
No, I mean, like, how many clients is going to get you? What are you hoping to get out of that? And I still don't understand, apart from the interviews with the customers, what else are you going to do with that?
No, let's thank you so much for being so committed to understanding that other system.
Yeah, pushing me away.
I haven't tried it yet. I am working with some consultants who have experience. They have the same kind of experience as you, that it works in many of their cases. So I will just use that and see where that takes me. And
you can, like, for sure, like, if you don't want to have like a predictable mechanism that's going to get you like the deals that you want, you can keep doing the stuff, you know, the interesting stuff. I mean, like, that is your choice. Just when we just begin this conversation, you know, I just thought that you are at the place where it's like enough years passed and you want to have the real system that is going to freaking work. And I mean, like, if this is not going to work in the next couple of the months, what then?
Yeah, then it's good for me to know that you have a system that you say can.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're going to meet with somebody else, you're going to jump into another system, then into another system. You're just going to be spending the money. I mean, like, we even do have a guarantee in place for our customers. Which is that you're going to make at least the double of what you've invested and paid to us in upcoming months, or we're just going to help you, or we are going to just work with you for free until you're going to smash that numbers. So I mean, like, we do believe that you're going to make the result.
Yeah, so I did it on the purpose because she was like, yeah, guys, you always talk and nothing actually works. So just to move the needle further to the closing.
Believe that it is possible. We have it written on a piece of paper. And I mean, you are like, no, I'm just going to continue doing something that I bought. But I'm not fully believe to that because that's why I'm here on this call. And that's it. I mean, like, that's why. Why?
Thank you so much for your concern about me.
I feel the gold is coming.
I had invested in the system already. I was not going to jump on this call, but because you didn't book a call with me, I booked this call. I signed up for this 6 months ago or something, and I didn't hear from you. I booked another consultant, and that's what I'm going to test and see how that works. I don't know how it works yet because I've just started. They say they have the same kind of predictability as you say.
Yeah, saying anything new to me. Like, Kirsten, do they have a guarantee?
Yeah, they will work for me until it works. So I don't want to.
She said same thing that I told to her. It looks like she's just defending herself.
So thank you so much for your presentation. It's very good for me to know that your work exists and that I can come back to you.
Second time she's pushing me away, like, come on, man, just leave me alone here.
You know that our work exists prior to this call. I mean, like,
No, I mean, I didn't know how it was going to work.
Yeah, so I do understand. Like, once again, I don't want to, it looks like you want to, how to say it in more polite way. If you want to keep pushing down the things down the road, like you've been doing in past time, you can keep doing that. I mean, like, I am just taking a look at it from the business perspective, where I clearly see that you are just trying and rolling into some of the things and expecting them just to work instead of like making the real actions. I mean, like, there's nowhere in the life is not a continuous place where you do one thing, finish it, then continue next one, the next one, the next one. You're always doing something simultaneously, the same way you do right now. You do write the book based on what I've heard. You do improve your product. You do these interviews and stuff. Okay. We in the company, we do run paid ads. We do organics. We do our podcast shows. We do interview our clients. And this is the life of the entrepreneur if you want to succeed. Okay. So if you want to be living in the world, like with the belief system that you have, like for all of these years that you have right now, you can stay there. I'm just showing the next level that you can be, but you don't want.
I appeal to her future identity where she can be, and I haven't learned a dime about this thing. I just watched one podcast like a couple of days before, and I've heard one guy like was selling only like this, and I was like, hell, let's try. And it's in action, my improvisation in action.
Want to get there. That is while testing one thing, doing the other thing as well, writing the book and converting the deals into the money with a predictable system that works for hundreds of other coaches. And that's it. I'm here just challenging you to believe in next level you.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah. I appreciate it. I think
if you want to just say, if you want to stay, in an old level where are you right now, just admit it, and that's it. So there's no false beliefs that somewhere down the road that's going to happen.
You know what? I feel like you're talking down to me right now as if I'm stupid.
I told you,
Ooh.
and I told the other consultants, I just started with another system. I'd like to see how that works for me before I invest in another system. Because
I hear that. What you're going to lose? What you're going to lose if you're going to have.
Well, what I'm going to lose is now you're asking me for an investment of euros.
No, I'm not.
Yes, I put the front. I pay euros a month for ads. So in the first month, it's 7,000 euros before I get a result, and then hopefully no. This is how
no, it's not true. It's just not true in terms of numbers.
What is it? What's true then? Then I misunderstood. You say your process is euros, right?
For 6 months, exactly.
Yeah, and you say I pay that upfront. So that's
Usually the clients pay that upfront, but if that it's not the case for every single business, not every single coach who's just starting is sitting on 10 grand. That's it. It's not about the money. We can always figure out, like, my name is on the door of this company. We can figure out whatever we want, in terms of the money, how we could start so it suits your financial capabilities. We're not talking about that. Money is an easy thing. Money comes and goes in this life. We're talking about where are you right now and where would you want to be. And that's it. And I just want to understand.
Mr. Bell Walsh, money is easy in this life. Money comes and goes. It's about your commitment. Referring back to this guy. Now we're having a talk with her.
And whether you want to be, whether you are ready to step that extra step to try to be the next level. And that's it. And if you do believe, at least me, the Forbes, the all.
And this is like a good thing. Like, if you can remove like the bullshit that we're talking about, you can even like show it to the person, like, leave it there. Don't think about it. It helps actually removing that obstacle so we can have a talk about the real thing. And this is how I did with multiple conversations. Just leave it there, man. One guy came to the call. He said like, hey man, I'm busy right now. And prior to that, he said that he's having 4 kids. I said, man, you have 4 kids. I want to remind you that you have 4 kids. You can remove that busyness away. This is not relevant. You are busy, you were busy, and you will be busy. Let's work with that.
All of the magazines that have been writing about us and our customer results, are you committed of doing that? Because if the money is the only thing that stands in front of us, then that's a wholly different talk. Then let's talk money, and we will find a way how to start. It's about your commitment. It's not about the money.
Well, for me, it's also about the money because I just invested in something else. So, I'm spending a lot of money there.
My question, if that would cost you a dime, would you start the day with us as well?
I still would have to invest 4 hours a day, you say?
It's not about 4 hours a day. That was just my projection of how I see the people who, like the coaches and consultants, how they start, okay? The time is not fixated. I'm just being realistic in terms of that you will need to, first, you will need to spend a little bit of time. Of course, we're going to support you with rolling the ball, okay? So, and then you will need to meet with the potential customers, okay? And that is something that I cannot exclude in this equation,
No, that's not the problem for me.
Yeah, and the 4 hours was mentioned for that, not sitting and thinking the marketing text, and everything. Like that time, that was average. You can spend one day, 1 hour. It's based on your availability of how many slots for the potential customers you're going to put out there.
Yeah, I have another question. Another hesitation I have is I have a particular branding, and I'm not. It wouldn't work for me to have visuals and a tone of voice that's not in alignment with who I am. Sometimes yellow, green, reds. There's like I need something.
She is thinking about totally different thing and not about like the real stuff. Again, like talking bullshit here, not about the commitment.
That works in alignment with my brand that's not radically different from my current brand because then it's not me. So that's also what I need to understand is that how are you going to make the ads and how can you even make them in data so that they are in alignment with my brand. I have a difficulty understanding that in detail.
Yep, there is just some colors that is in your brand book, I suppose.
That should be used.
Okay, the same colors. That is A. B. We are not going to place anything in front of the people without your permission. That is B. And the C thing, we have in every single country of the Europe partner who's with the marketing and the local knowledge of the market who can do the texts for us. If you will want, you can translate them yourself. Some people does it, but just because they want to give that extra spice of the knowledge in the market. Those ones we don't. We just use our partners.
Tonality down while doing the explanation.
So they can go in and understand every single business and really get into the tone. And I think that's difficult enough for myself to really.
I mean, like, we're not working with that people first day. That is one thing. And usually before they go and hone and craft like anything, they have a task to do and get familiar with everything that there is like publicly available that we give to them. So there's homework. It's not just like let's sit and do. There's just homework that needs to be done to be congruent.
Yeah, because this is also something that has not worked for me in the past. When I don't recognize my own tone of voice, it's quite difficult to delegate actually your own visibility.
Sure, I understand. But this is like when you do want to create something from the scratch without a clue. Like, I mean, like you're expecting, you're just trying to do something. But when there's like some track record, like we are now starting work with one guy who is helping with the branding, and he's from Poland. He worked with the 850 different companies. You have a publicity and everything. That is going to be a work to first of all understand him and what is his tone of voice, how you say, and based on that, make the tweaks and adjustments from the marketing and the sales perspective that we need, so it lands the right customers and it sounds like him, not some AI who wrote the text for him.
Yeah, so those are my concerns.
Dissolved. Let's see what else.
Um,
So I should go here. Maybe I could close this even faster if I would go into the binaries right now by asking, hey, by the way, like yada yada, do you think that this is a good decision? This would help your business. This would help your future. Yes or no? This would help your kids. Yes or no? And maybe that would help me to close the deal faster.
so what you're saying is that you guarantee at least, you said $1 the first month, or what did you say?
I said that we do guarantee that you're going to earn at least a double of what you paid to us.
Mm.
So, but what I do realistically think that in next of couple of months, you will end that double or even triple. Because why not? I mean, like, you're not first day on the market. We just need to fix that one pain, that stream of potential customers. And I've seen these type of the businesses, like hundreds. People spend years of their time. You're not even, I'm not sure how much of organic you do, but I've seen people doing years of organic stuff, daily reels, posts, like networking and stuff. You know, they're on the level where they are breaking up and they just freaking leave this one and do something more sustainable. And then we help them to just plug that system in that works. And they're like, finally something that allows me to sleep well at night. You know, so I know that there's at least some predictability in my business, not this roller coaster. This is what I see every day. Like, and I'm going to bend over and I'm going to bend over my team for you so you can get that result. Okay.
Encouragement. Why I do this? I do this because she is afraid, because everyone has left her with no results with the companies that she worked before. She is scared.
And prove that the system is actually working for you.
Yeah, that is what I'm looking for. And so how much time do I have to spend, talking about social media and lives and reels and all that?
None. We just want your social media to look alive because we don't need it. Because we're going to be doing, like, we are not going to outreach your current audience. We will go for the people who don't know about you, okay, with the paid media. So what we will need to do, we will need to build a foundation for this, building the vehicle that can take your customers. And you will, of course, there is a downside for that when you stop this vehicle, you stop investing the money into the paid media, it doesn't bring you the people. But there's an upside that if you have enough people attracted through all of that time, you will have, and the product is good, and people suggest you to other, you will have a lot more referrals coming in from there, okay? So there's upsides and the downsides. And I mean, like, this process, it is at least predictable, apart from everything else.
Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I'm very tired.
And I don't want you to be posting every day, writing blog posts, etc. We will sit, craft various offers, various texts, everything. You're going to accept that. We're going to put that on the market. We will see the market reaction. We will see the real people coming to you, talking with you. And then we can hone and adjust it, make it better, look better, while there's a funnel that works and brings the money. That's it. We have people who is selling the low ticket programs, just the how to say, master classes, 7-day master classes. Ladies here in Latvia, we're not the most wealthiest country in the Europe, but they're making 10 grand a month with the self-liquidating funnels where people just go on the landing page and buy. But to create that type of the landing page, you need to have the knowledge of a person who can guide and tweak it every bit through the system. And this is what we do here. And if you are willing to put in your work, and this is why I was so maybe not friendly at the beginning of the call, I wanted to understand if you do want to put in work. And I see that you want, and I see that you don't want to waste your time and put it into the things that is like not working for you. So yeah, just give yourself a chance just to be that next level, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually because it's video and yeah, is that correct?
I would never take a look at that at all. So first of all, if we're talking just about the ads, once again, this is the vehicle. So at the first month, we just need like maybe just to test, just to adjust the vehicle. From the next month, you will be investing in ads, exact amount, based on how many people you want to get. And I'm going to explain. If one acquired customer, I'm going to fantasize, okay, it's going to cost you 500 euros. Okay, this is something how much our customer cost us. For you to acquire the customer who's going to pay 5 grand for your program, is going to pay 500. My question is, how much money you're going to devote for the ad spend in next month, if that's going to be the case?
Well, I would I would prefer to start small and then turn it up when I know that it works.
Yeah, but you've tested it. It works. So you got 2 clients, you've spent 1,000, it brought you 2 customers. With that being said, the client acquisition cost is 500 euros. My question is, how much money you will spend the next month? You have a proof of concept.
Yeah, then I would just turn it on.
I mean, how much? Just tell me the number.
I don't know if it works. I would double it every month and see where it takes me.
Yeah. So the next one, it would be 2 grand and it would land you 4 customers. Okay. Of course, it is not something unlimited. There is a ceiling. Okay. We're gonna definitely hit the ceiling in it. But then we will have like other countries where we're gonna go with everything, with the proof of concept, and everything's gonna be working. Okay. So with that being said, like, it's a false expectation that your marketing budget is gonna be 6 grand for the next 6 months. It's gonna solely depend on the amount of the clients that you're gonna get. And our goal is gonna be with cooperation with you, make that number as low as possible. Okay. So one acquired customer for us in Latvia costs around 250 euros. For you, it's gonna be most probably a couple of hundred. It's just a no-brainer not to go in the debt, just to squeeze in some money into the business so you can get some money back that you have invested in the past with the companies that actually didn't work, and that's it, and then pile up some cash so we can go online into the abroad.
So I went a little bit sideways here with her local market because she didn't want to go there actually, and it's going to be a little back and forth here about about that local market, etc., etc. I will try to fast forward that so we can have a yes from her. We will need to deal about the split payment and stuff, and then she's gonna come in. But basically, that was like she pushed me at least 3 times away, but we still continue the conversations, and I could dissolve like one thing after another.
Each web page, I have Danish information, but to get people to, they can come here live is one thing for them. But what
Yeah, now we're talking about that local market that she doesn't want to do.
I think that maybe 300 people downloaded it, and I spent. Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is going to happen like a snap. We'll need to go through the process of a little bit adjusting the stuff, but we want to get into the place where you're going to be triaging on who's booked a meeting on the calendar, so you can either accept it or cancel it, and that's it.
Yeah, and I do some triages, but there's something that goes wrong somewhere, because I had all these people come in. I have a nourishing automation system, and none of them have booked a call. I mean, none. Out of 300 people, I think that's extraordinary. I even the personal video, I looked up who are they, the people that I thought was interesting. I sent them a personal video that I created just for them.
Yeah.
I understand, because that is not your audience. Like we, like the freebie seekers, is not the buyers. So you need to understand that every single word on the marketing message finds the people, the people with whom that resonates. And it was the first part I told you, offer creation. Every single word in that first couple of lines depends on who's going to actually pay attention. Somebody who wants the free stuff, or somebody who's more serious into taking their corporate life to the next level, their own inner feelings and everything, the things that you help with, And this is what we need to talk about, not like giving just free stuff away.
Yeah, I said attention, 7-figure female entrepreneurs and leaders. I said that in the headline, but I still got these people who didn't book a call. And
no meetings for 2,000, that's ridiculous. I mean, like, if we would operate with that budget, like, I bet you would have like at least like 50 calls.
Yeah, because then, if we should start, maybe we should start with that funnel that already exists, but I would replace the free download with a webinar.
We can take a look into that. I can promise that, like, once again, if that wasn't working, we will definitely, your success manager is going to take a look into the assets that you have, and then maybe there's something that we can use. But most probably, based on the results that I've heard, they are not going to fly. You can keep spending money how much, and it's not going to work. Like, there's something on the core level not working, because I haven't heard. Yes, I did heard like a lot of people, who've wasted a lot of money on the market and didn't work. And usually we just craft everything from the ground up. Yeah, but we can definitely take a look into that assets.
Yeah, because it's a little bit of a shame that it didn't work, because actually it's good stuff. It's just maybe not getting in front of the right people, or I don't know what's happening. It's just a desire.
Its messaging needs to be adjusted, and we need to take a look in all of other settings in the tunnel itself, where the people goes, what happens next. Yeah, I mean, like, we can start with that as well.
Yeah, and then you would guarantee that you keep working with me until I have the double amount.
Exactly. From the new customers, we're not talking about the people referrals or somebody else going to come. I do show you the tracking systems we have in place. We will know exactly which customer came from what we did, and we don't care about how many customers you're going to get from all of other sources you have. We will have a track record of that. You will see it, and we will see it as well.
Yeah, because I think it's a little bit of a shame. I wasted $100 and all on that, that consultant that didn't get any result at all.
It's part of the business. Now it's going to be a little bit different. A, we're going to help you to roll the ball. B, you will learn a lot more based on what we're going to give to you. Like, we'll give you access to our portal. There's some videos that you will need to watch as well. You will have an insight and a clear understanding of what the hell we're doing. So you can either duplicate that in the future, or when you will want to hire somebody in the future, you will know exactly what to ask from them.
Yeah. Then there's the financial part. I just spent, on that didn't work, on the previous that didn't work, on the new one that I don't know if it's going to work. So I'm low on cash flow now, because so that's also why I want to wait until I have the results.
I understand.
Yes.
Once again, if the cash is the only thing that we need to sort out, and you're ready for that next level, then let's have a talk about the money of how we can start instead of waiting, because I know that, once again, I don't care about the other processes running. I know that this is going to bring you the customers. Basically, what I need from you is ability to pay the ads, and it's not something that you need to throw in one go. You know how it's going to go. Like, it's going to charge you like a couple of $100 a week. It's ongoing cost. And when you're going to get the clients, you can start reinvesting the money that you're going to get from the clients into the ads and into the paying for us. So my question is just, how we need to split that payment for you, so we can start to roll the ball on the Monday already, and we can start today. What is the like a financial commitment that you can take right now, so we can just start?
So wouldn't you test it? You start investing in the ads before you've tested it organically?
Okay, so a little bit back and forth here, but basically we will have an agreement about the split pay. So on a high level, like, we're not gonna keep listening because it's already 25 minutes we are in this call. Hopefully you learned something. On a high level, as soon as the objections were coming in, I wanted to reassure a couple of things. Does the prospect actually believes in the process, and will they have a more feeling that this is going to work compared to it's not going to work? I got confirmation there. Then I was trying to tap into understanding what exactly she likes about the process. I muzzled that a little bit with the guarantee as well. And then I appealed to her next level identity, where she became a little bit too defensive during that part when I was like appealing to that. And then we started talking about the real stuff, about the past experiences, about the thing that she's busy. I dissolved that, and finally, like through the end of the call, I was always trying to place the money in the front of her and trying to exclude that from equation. I'm not saying that this was the perfect call, you know, in the closing, but there's still a deal. That was like an hour and 15 minutes back and forth because I told her the price just before I started actually pitching her. And yeah, most probably with another methods, with some binary questions, I could close her faster, but it wasn't the case. I am happy she's in. We're a little bit slow on launching her because of back and forth, but I really hope that there's going to be amazing results for her and she's going to happily succeed. And for you, I would love you to script out and highlight maybe some of the things that you learned from this call. Maybe you can just drop them in the comments so I can have some kind of a feedback of what did you like, or even if you don't freaking care or you don't like, just post it there. And see you in the next video. Bye bye.